Have you at any point felt so charmed by somebody that you were unable to quit thinking about them? It resembles all that you do, or on the other hand, believe is associated with them, and you wind up envisioning what it would be like to be together constantly. This peculiarity is extremely strong, and now and then it seems like we're digging into the domains of dull brain research today. We will talk about certain techniques that can cause somebody to feel as such about you anyway, if it's not too much trouble. Note that these methodologies are dubious and ought to be utilized with intense mindfulness and moral thought. They're not simple stunts, yet rather exceptionally intense mental instruments prepared to do profoundly impacting an individual's feelings and considerations. So if you're prepared to investigate the most profound and most strange parts of enticement and fascination brain science, this video is for you together. How about we uncover a few strategies that can make somebody think about you, continually longing to be close by? Be that as it may, recollect what you'll realize here must be utilized sensibly and consistently with regard for the other individual's will and opportunity, particular correspondence. You know, at the point when somebody offers you consideration or warmth, now and again, not all the time. That is what we call specific correspondence. It resembles a round of shocks in some cases. You get an embrace or a commendation, and different times you don't. So you're left holding up pondering when the in the future will be this. Conduct can make us to some degree genuinely reliant, since we generally desire a greater amount of those exceptional minutes. The thing is, individuals by and large prefer to offer back when they get something decent, right? So when that consideration or love is given inconsistently, it makes a sort of cycle where we need more. It's a piece like playing a tabletop game and not knowing what the following move will be that keeps the tomfoolery and interest alive. Yet look, it's vital to deal with it with care. If we abuse this methodology, it can leave the other individual inclination befuddled or even pushed. Suppose you're playing with somebody, and that individual continues to change the guidelines all the time. Wouldn't be charming, right? Correspondingly, it's fundamental to regard the other individual's sentiments when utilized with well-meaning goals. Particular correspondence can help keep an energizing relationship, like keeping an eye on a fire to hold it back from dousing. Yet it generally must tell the truth and conscious. Alright, escalated close-to-home association. Heightened profound association is the point at which you make a very solid feeling of closeness with somebody in a brief time frame. It resembles your opening your heart and sharing exceptionally private things, mysteries or profound sentiments. You know, this causes the other individual to feel extraordinary, as though you've picked them to know a very close piece of you. This method works, since where it counts, we esteem what's intriguing and individual, so when somebody shares something to that effect with us, it makes a unique bond. It's like they're building an extension among you also. When you open up that way, you end up welcoming the other individual to do likewise, to likewise share their very own and weak things. However, listen to this. You can't drive a genuine, profound association, since you need it to happen quick. Assuming you attempt to do that, you risk everything being a piece shallow and eventually subpar. And another significant thing isn't to utilize profound weakness manipulatively in light of the fact that that can hurt individuals. So while making an extreme profound association can be extraordinary for establishing a decent first connections that really last and are significant, are those fabricated, gradually finished time with tolerance and shared care. It's like structure. A house, it needs a decent establishment, which is trust and numerous blocks of veritable love, worked with shared encounters and steady help. Profound differentiation, close to home difference, is at the point when you play with the promising and less promising times of sentiments, making a kind of profound thrill ride. Once in a while you're very near the individual, and different times you step back. A piece shortage, the shortage procedure, depends on the possibility that individuals will generally esteem more, what is uncommon or, on the other hand, difficult to get when applied to individual connections. This strategy gives the impression that your time, consideration, and warmth are restricted assets, and subsequently more significant by showing that you're not generally accessible. A feeling of appreciation is made like clockwork. You're available. This makes each second together more unique and wanted. Anyway, you must be mindful so as not to go overboard. Assuming you show up excessively far off, the other individual might decipher it as lack of engagement or absence of consideration. The secret is to be truly occupied and have a fascinating life, as opposed to professing to be occupied just to appear to be more alluring. Strong and solid connections need presence and responsibility. Assuming that you use shortage unnecessarily, you can sabotage massage trust and association between you. So while shortage can be helpful for starting introductory interest, it means quite a bit to involve it in control and consistently with genuineness, since genuine fascination and association come from veritable and corresponding trade, not determined accessibility games. Discontinuous approval is the point at which you acclaim or recognize somebody unpredictably at unforeseen minutes. This makes a feeling of expectation and want on the grounds that the individual is more mindful and endeavors to get a greater amount of those commendations when approval comes discontinuously. It makes the individual worth it significantly more when they at last get that acknowledgement. This methodology can keep the individual continually expecting pondering at the point when the following snapshot of acknowledgement will be, and hypothetically this can make them endeavor harder to please or intrigue you in order to get more approval. However, it means quite a bit to note that utilizing this strategy to control somebody's feelings is unscrupulous. Approval ought to be a characteristic reaction to veritable and positive communications, not an award given at times to keep up with somebody's advantage. Constructing a relationship in view of shared regard and steady appreciation is a lot better and reasonable in the long run than depending on profound games. What's more, vulnerability's secret and equivocalness. Keeping a demeanor of secret can be a fascinating methodology in relational connections by not uncovering all your considerations, sentiments, or insights regarding your life. Immediately, you welcome the other individual to dig further, clarify some things, and need to find more about you. This conscious uncertainty can invigorate interest and keep interest over the long run, as it leaves space for investigation and dream when overseen. Unobtrusively, this sense of riddle can add a thrilling aspect to the collaboration, empowering the other individual to effectively participate in the expedition that is getting to be aware you. It can prompt the minutes you spend together, inclination as though they're filled with conceivable outcomes and profound implications, escalating the close-to-home association they feel for you. Anyway, it's fundamental that the secret doesn't transform into mystery or trickery. Vagueness ought to be ingredient to get to know one another at a deliberate and smart speed, not a hindrance to real closeness. Eventually, a adjusted portion of secret can make connections more powerful and alluring. For however long, it depends on trustworthiness and shared regard. Point of center procedure. The mark of concentration procedure includes turning into the focal point of the other individual's significant and close to home encounters. By being the wellspring of serious feelings and important minutes, you normally become related with sensations of delight, energy, and fulfillment. This strategy is strong since people will generally recollect and long for the wellsprings of our most profound feelings. What's more, in the event that you can situate yourself thusly, you're probably going to bring out serious areas of strength for enough fascination and association anyway. As with all mental impact strategies, it's critical to continue with honesty and thought. The objective ought to be to make positive and improving encounters, not to control or, on the other hand, inflict damage. The reason for being a point of convergence is to share certifiable minutes that normally make individuals need to remember them with you, not to trap them in a pattern of profound reliance. When applying this method, do as such with the goal of building a bond. In view of, that's what shared quality encounters add to common development and joy. In this manner, you advance the association that is both manageable and proportional. And along these lines, we close our venture through the strategies of dim brain science that can produce mental fixation. Recollect, information is strong. However, with incredible power comes perfect obligation. Use what you've realized today carefully, continuously focusing on ascent. What's more, the prosperity of all included. If you track down this substance in Eining and wish to keep investigating the many-sided ways of the human psyche and connections, make certain to buy into our channel. Here we will proceed to give significant data to edify and work on your social cooperations. Remember to this way video buy-in and empower notices so you won't miss any future substance. I truly trust that this message has been helpful to you. I need to salute you enormously for having come this far and for having completed the video that implies that you need to work on personally. Assuming you like the video, leave your remark. You don't have the foggiest idea what to remark, I dare. So I know you came as far as possible on the off chance that you are not, however, bought into the feed. What are you hanging tight for buy-in now and join us? Thank you for your consideration. Until next time, champion.